So we have some cows we need to check this morning, and then we're gonna go over to our south pasture where we have a fencing project going on. So come hang out with me today, right here on the ranch. Out here checking cows this morning and checking what this grass looks like. The cows are looking pretty fat and the grass is still fairly long. Flies aren't too bad and baby calves are growing. This grass is finally paying dividends. After feeding the cows all winter long, these cows are finally starting to work for us. So we have 2 cows that still have not calved that are way late. One of them I was aware was breeding back late. Matter of fact, in one of my previous videos, the bulls were chasing this particular cow, number 36. And that was in the month of August. This is May. So this cow, number 36, should be dropping a calf here pretty soon. But as you can see, she's pretty round. We have a little bit of a bag forming up, so I know she's bred, and I think it's just a matter of time before she drops a calf. The other cow that has not had a calf yet is number 53. And we looked at her at the last video. She's bred back late 2 years straight now. And so she's a cow that we are gonna cull. She is bred and she may drop a calf before we end up selling her. And if that's the case, we'll just sell them as pairs. She just can't figure out how to breed back on time. On the flip side, that brown cow right there, one of our top cows we have. She's not Black Angus like most of our cows are. However, she performs well. She's one of the first to calve every year. One year she even had twins, and she raises just really, really good, healthy calves. You can see back there, that's her bull calf, who's now steered, and he is a dandy. When we got her, she was a little bit on the, I wouldn't say wild, maybe just a little high-headed, but she's really calmed down the more we've gotten around her and become a lot more docile. If she keeps performing like she's doing, we'll keep her until she's around, I don't know, 11, 12 years old, and then we'll sell her. But maybe by then we can get a couple of heifers out of her and add those to our herd. So when I drove up here this morning, there was no cows chasing me down. They're just here laying in the sun, sunbathing a little bit. A bit of a cool morning for May. And so they're really enjoying just sitting out in the sun. But this is what I like to see. This tells me that our grass is enough to satisfy these cows. And that's why they're all laying around everywhere, chewing their cud. So the herd is looking good. We are about a month away from selling calves and weaning off our heifers that we're going to keep back this year. And since we're going to be adding some heifers from this calf crop, we're going to be pulling our bulls off and selling those and bringing in new bulls for our breeding season 2026. Our one paycheck is just around the corner this year, and it's nice to see that all of our hard work over the past 12 months is paying off. So after we sell the calves, it's going to be June, and then we're going to be getting into those hot summer months. And around here, we just want to make sure that we're keeping grass in front of them so they can continue to put on weight as they enter their 3rd trimester. Once we get through the summer successfully, it'll be calving season again. Doing the same thing every year could seem boring outside looking in. The reality is, it is really exciting to grow your herd. If you're patient, if you're diligent, results will come. And that's what we're starting to see here. The next thing I need to do is go over to the south pasture and get working on this fence. We have a lot to do over there today. So here we have all of our fencing material. Finally got done cleaning all the posts, pulling all the wire off of them. The kind of wire we're using around our perimeter, we are using a 2-point 12.5 gauge. It's a thicker wire. Some of this wire is going to be around where trees are. So if something were to fall on our fence, it's not going to snap this wire. Not to say it won't snap, but it's going to take a lot more force than just a heavy branch falling on it. some of our interior fencing, we're going to use this gacho wire here. It is a, let's see if it says the gauge on here, 15.5 gauge. So it's a little thinner. It's also a 2-point. Works fine for cross fencing, just not something that I'd want to have on my perimeter. Our cross fencing is going to be a 5-wire fence, and then our perimeter is going to be a 6. The reason that we do that is because we want to make sure that our animals stay on our farm. We have neighbors on this pasture that also have cows, and so we want to make sure we have a sturdy fence where our cows are not getting over to theirs, or vice versa, theirs aren't coming over to ours. All it takes is one animal getting outside of your fence, and it can become a big problem for you. These cows are pretty expensive, and the last thing we want to do is lose any of them because we have inadequate fencing. So I'm gonna go hook my side-by-side up to a trailer. We have a lot of wire that's been pulled off the fence. We're gonna grab that, put it in the trailer, and go get it recycled. I don't get hardly anything for wire, but taking it to the recycle place, 1, allows me to get rid of it, and 2, if I were to take it to a dump, I would get charged. If I take it to recycle, essentially I'm doing it for free. A load of wire, I may get $2 or $3 or $4. It's not a lot, but at least I'm not being charged. And to me, that's what's most important. And just like that, I'm done. We took down about 1,600 linear feet of fence. And I say we because I have a fence guy that's helping me. But we took down a bunch of fence. We have all of our wire in this trailer, and then also any T-posts that are bent that I can't use, I'll recycle those as well. Like I mentioned earlier, we're not gonna get a ton for the wire, but the fact that we can get it out of here and we're not having to pay to get rid of it is a plus. Any extra dollars I get from there is just icing on the cake, enough to buy me a hamburger or something. So I'm gonna take this wire over to the recycle shop real quick and get that all unloaded, and then I'm gonna come back over here to this south pasture, and I wanna show you guys some of the different fencing that we're putting up. I wanted to show you how our fencing project's coming along. We're fencing different areas of this pasture. We have some highway frontage, we have some county road frontage, and then we have some cross fencing. So here's the fence that's on the county road. This is a pretty, well, I say slow county road. I mean, there's a good amount of cars that come down it, but it's not a highway either. As you can see, it's just a little narrow county road. But this is the fence that we have up here. Sticks find their way on the fence as soon as you put it up. But what we've done here is we've got pipe line post, which is what you see there. That line post is down about 3 to 4 foot, and we have those posts every 5th one. And then between those line posts, we just have normal T-post. We decided to go 5 wires here, and I'm struggling with that decision because there's some spots where there's a pretty large gap at the bottom. Right here is not that spot, but we may go back and add a 6th bottom wire on some of the areas where there's a gap, but we'll see. Up here we have our gate, and we put a gate in over here just to have access to the front part of this pasture. We went and bought this metal gate, had our fence guy paint it, and it's come out really nice. Pretty sturdy, but it's not super heavy. It's heavy, but it's not super heavy. It opens up nice, Even painted our chain black, which I like. Now this that we're walking to in front of us, this was actually not fenced off when we acquired this land. Now we've gone ahead and fenced this off and took this around the entire corner. So with this, since our fence is making a turn, there's a lot of pressure that's coming back towards our, I guess, our field. We put a double H brace here to withstand all that pressure. With this fence, I'm not gonna have to worry about our animals getting out. It's gonna give me peace of mind, and it's gonna make sure that it's gonna keep our cows on our farm. So the aesthetics of the fence is also very important to me. I want to make sure that when people see our place, that it looks appealing. It doesn't look run down, but it looks nice and well taken care of. A lot of times we'll be bringing people out here to buy some of our animals. At times we sell bulls, we sell heifers and cows. Because we have people that come out to our place and come check out some of our animals, we don't want them to pull up to a fence or a gate that's all run down. I think that's an indication of how we take care of our animals. So we want to make sure that we're making the best impression we possibly can to a potential customer. So here's some cross fencing that we're doing. Now in our cross fencing, I'm not putting in metal. The metal's pretty expensive and I cannot afford that everywhere. But we are using wood. Now these wood posts are posts that we previously pulled out from a fence we took down. Now we're repurposing them for this new fence. And I don't know about you, but I really like the character that these older posts have. They look really nice. They have a few spots where, you know, they're not perfect and everything, but I don't know. It just seems like it adds a little character to them. This fence here is going to be 5 wire. We are using a bit of a thinner wire. It's a 15.5 gauge. Still a really good wire, but I don't see the need to use that 12.5 gauge, and that's for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, it's not a perimeter fence, so if they get on the other side, it's not a big deal. Reason number 2, there's no trees on the fence line, and the 12.5 gauge helps if a limb or a tree is to fall on your wire. It's strong enough to withstand that pressure, but it's a lot more expensive, like double the price. So since we don't have trees everywhere, a 15.5 gauge wire is going to work just fine, and it'll still make sure that our cows stay where they're supposed to stay. We don't have the line post up yet, but here we're doing every 60 foot. We're doing a line post. We're putting them, I don't know, what, 3-4 foot down. Having a straight fence really helps your fence long term. If your fence is not straight and when you start to tighten your wire, it'll put pressure on your post and spots and can lean your post over. Not to mention, there's something about a straight fence that just looks really nice. So here's the last thing I want to show you is our little entryway we have here. You may have seen this in some of the past videos, but this came out really nice. We just did some pipe fence right in the front. It's not everywhere. This is interesting because we were trying to figure out how we were going to get the wire to stay tight and go up that hill. And we just decided to do a couple rungs of pipe fencing up there. Looks nice. That's just a super steep hill right there. So that worked out good. So this is the entrance that anyone is coming to look at buying cows, heifers, bulls will enter through. And I think this will just say a lot about who we are and how we take care of our animals. Well, our fencing project's coming out great. We still have a lot of work to do, but it's coming along very nicely. When we're done, we'll have all of our perimeter fencing done. We'll have all of our cross fencing completed. It's a bit of an investment up front, but once we get all the infrastructure over here, this will be a nice place to be able to raise heifers and have cows over here if we choose to do so. Thank y'all for hanging out with me today, and I hope to see y'all next time right here on the ranch.